exclusive screening of Raat Akeli Hai, the Bansal Murders at Netflix Office.
Thank you everybody for coming. सुबह सुबह ऐसी पिक्चर कौन दिखाता है?
No, but had you been here, it was totally spellbinding. People were logged in, and one of the first things we started with was we're going to just sit at the edge of our seats, and because that's the fun of whodunits. It keeps you guessing, it keeps you asking, and this is also one of the first questions I wanted to ask you, as somebody who is weaving this mystery and who's also at the helm of making it happen. How much do you keep in mind that the audience is going to constantly be guessing, and how do you start with that, or how do you factor that in when you made this one, and of course Raat Akeli as well?
See, when these kind of films you make whodunit and or the murder mystery, you know, the first thing you keep in mind, you put yourself in the position of the audience, you know, and you want to see how far you can go, and if you can find out who's the one who has killed it, who has committed the murder, and who done it, basically. So I definitely become the first audience of my film, in the sense, like, even when it's getting written and when the final script is ready, when we start doing it. So lots of the treatment also depends on that, like how I want to tell the story.
With whodunit, such is the nature of the beast that one must place themselves in the position of the audience. But do you think that would factor in or trickle into any other genre that you may be excited to tackle?
Could be. I think most of the crime dramas or the film based on crime and punishment, and you know, any investigative films.
Is that the genre that calls out to you the most?
Yeah. मुझे तो rom-com भी दे दो बनाने को, मुझे लगता है मैं उसे thriller ही बना दूंगा. I just love this genre, basically, the telling a story like in a back and forth manner, or to tell a story, because I don't like which is like very linear thing, like a book reading. Even if you see if I have to tell, even in the dialogue, कि आप यहाँ से बाहर जाएंगे तो शर्मा जी मिलेंगे, यहाँ से बाहर जाएंगे तो बाहर शर्मा जी आपको मिलेंगे, दैट इज अ वेरी बुक काइंड ऑफ अ लाइन. सो मुझे बोलना होगा कि बाहर शर्मा जी खड़े हैं, जाओगे तो मिल जाएंगे. So you know, that also has कि you're building a mystery कि बाहर शर्मा जी खड़े हैं, okay, but what the hell I have to do with that? जाओगे तो मिलेंगे, तो ना मिलेंगे तो क्या होगा? तो it's just, I think it's just a part of my nature also.
And that reflects in the film as well, because in every beat of it there has to be some mysterious element, because you have to have the audience intrigued in that in such a way. And one thing, quick trivia fact about Honey here. Honey has extensive experience as casting director. He debuted with the feature, as I mentioned, Raat Akeli in 2020, if I'm not wrong about the year.
Yeah, 31st July.
31st July 2020. And before that, he has put faces to so many characters and so many worlds that we have known. How many of us seen Makdi? That was
My first film.
one of the first films I watched as a child, and it still gives me nightmares.
Yeah, so Shweta who played the double role, actually वो फिल्म बड़ी मजबूरी में बनानी पड़ी थी. हम लोग एक फिल्म बना रहे थे जिसका नाम था बर्फ. That was विशाल जी's first film, and कभी बनी नहीं. And उसके प्रोड्यूसर थे देवगन्स, and राजू चाचा फ्लॉप हो गई थी तो उस साल, तो बर्फ बंद हो गई. तो बर्फ में सुष्मिता सेन थी. सुष्मिता सेन के बचपन का जो रोल था, उसके लिए हमें एक एक्टर चाहिए थी, जिसके लिए श्वेता बासु का ऑडिशन हुआ था. शी वॉज अराउंड 8 year old दैट टाइम, पर शी वॉज अ बॉर्न एक्टर. तो वो कहीं ना कहीं हम लोगों के दिमाग में थी, एंड कुछ करने को नहीं था. बर्फ बंद हो गई. मेरा और विशाल जी का एक कॉमन इंटरेस्ट क्रिकेट था, तो हम लोग विशाल जी कैप्टन भी थे एमसीसी क्लब के. तो हम लोग एक मैच खेलने गए हुए थे, तो ट्रॉम्बे में वो मैच हार के हम लोग गाड़ी में आ रहे थे एंड ये हो रहा था कि अभी क्या करना है आगे। तो विशाल जी ने कहा था कि एक छोटी सी फिल्म है, एक आइडिया है, वो बनाते हैं। तो उन्होंने मुझे अपनी गाड़ी में आते हुए वो फिल्म सुनाई थी, वो कहानी सुनाई थी बेसिकली उनको भी उनके दोस्त की किसी नानी या दादी ने वो कहानी सुनाई थी कि एक पेड़ है गांव में जिसमें जिसकी मिस्ट्री है उस पे जो फल आते हैं वो अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर में आते हैं। तो एक छोटी सी बच्ची है जो स्कूल जाते हुए वो उसमें से HEN खा लेती है, तो वो मुर्गी बन जाती है। तो ऐसे करके एक कहानी थी, तो पहले उसका नाम था गिले गिले गुल। तो उसके बाद में जब वो आइडिया स्ट्राइक हुआ, उसके बाद में जब उस पर काम करना शुरू हुआ, तो मकड़ी एंड इमीडिएटली श्वेता बासु वाज द नेम की यही वो है जिसके साथ में हम ये बना सकते हैं। उसके बाद में चिल्ड्रन फिल्म जो है CFSI, उन्होंने कहा कि हम प्रोड्यूस करेंगे वो फिल्म। उन्होंने वो फिल्म प्रोड्यूस की। जब वो फिल्म बन के रेडी हुई, उन्होंने कहा इसमें ना रस है, ना स्वाद है, ना कुछ है, तो वी डोंट नो अबाउट दिस फिल्म। सो that's a very encouraging of Vishal sir. He mortgaged the things, his studio and everything. Matlab, that's a great thing for a filmmaker to do, to risk everything to take that film back from CFSI, to pay them all the money, and then that film, जैसे हमारे यहाँ ऑस्कर्स होते हैं, ये होते हैं चिल्ड्रन फिल्म्स के लिए, शिकागो इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल इज द बिगेस्ट फिल्म फेस्टिवल. So that film won the best film at Chicago International Film Festival. So in Vishal sir's office, still there is a frame. One has the Children Film Association ka letter and the Chicago International Film Certificate as the best film. So yeah, इन ये सब में तो आपका क्वेश्चन रह गया।
नहीं, मेरा क्वेश्चन यही था टू गेट पीपल अ पीक इनटू हाउ योर जर्नी स्टार्टेड एंड यू हैव ओवर द इयर्स यू हैव helped especially with Vishal sir, the collaboration you have had
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
I remember reading it was Omkara and Makbul, and so finding the right people, putting faces to the characters, and then we have you debut with something like Raat Akeli, which in itself is also an ensemble. So my question leading to this, the reason I asked was ki my inkling is that this experience, this journey you've had is something that drew you to an ensemble.
It definitely benefits me because the reason how I started, I was never a professional casting director or something. I was a theater director in Delhi. So I come from theater background. So I used to direct plays in Delhi. And when Vishal sir was making this film, so the idea was ki, okay, let's try and find out few new faces also. So then I started doing the audition and Shweta came into the picture and we made Makdi. But उसकी वजह से क्या हो गया था, जब तक विशाल सर वो स्क्रिप्ट लिख रहे होते थे, कैरेक्टर्स आ जाते थे, तो ये होता था कि उनके साथ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करने को मिलती थी कि किसको किसको लेके आ सकते, कैसे कर सकते हैं. Then Makbul happened and Vishal sir from Makdi onwards only, he started giving me a credit because I was his chief AD associate director along with that as a casting director. So till Omkara that thing was going on and people started noticing the casting in Vishal sir's film.
Yeah.
So the first film I did like as a professional casting director and where I have been hired, that was Delhi Belly. So from there onwards, but because I was Vishal sir's assistant, so I come from that school. I tried tried assisting other people also in between because महीने के एंड में तो पैसे चाहिए ना, फिल्म खत्म हो गई है तो अभी क्या करेंगे. But I never enjoyed. Somehow I couldn't enjoy. Matlab, the fun I was having with Vishal sir while making films, so that was not there. So then casting happened to me. एंड लोगों ने मुझे हायर करना शुरू कर दिया कि ओके व्हाई डोंट यू डू द कास्टिंग. देन वो सिलसिला निकल पड़ा एंड आई डिड सम 40-50 फिल्म्स एज अ कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर, जिसकी वजह से रिलेशंस भी बने, बहुत सारे नए एक्टर्स भी आए, अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली. अमोल गुप्ते को भी लेके आओ और ताशी को भी लेके आओ. अब बहुत लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि चंदन रॉय सान्याल, ही इज समवेयर एल्स इन अ डिफरेंट पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, ही इज डूइंग सम थिएटर. bringing him. So it gives the opportunity. But all that experience definitely count now when I'm working on the script. Okay, this is the film I want to make. So while the project is into the writing, all the actors I have in mind.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to
It
ask
helps.
that at what point did you know that Nawaz is going to be Jatil Yadav?
That's a very interesting story I have to tell you. It's like he was
Must.
destined to play Jatil Yadav because when the script came and when Smita had written this film, Raat Akeli Hai, she was at FTII in 2012. That was her diploma film. She had written some 30-40 pages, which she sent it to me when I was looking for a writer. The agency Tulsiya, they said, ki, okay, this is writer's work. First you read it. If you like writer's work, then only we'll make you meet the writer. I said, okay, fine. And Smita's work I read. I was like, iski puri script hai to de do.
Yeah.
So that's how Raat Akeli Hai 1 came into the picture, and Smita had written that film keeping Nawaz Bhai in mind,
Yeah.
everything. बट नवाज भाई के साथ मैं ऑलरेडी दो प्रोजेक्ट्स उस समय कर रहा था, मतलब रईस बिकॉज आई वाज डूइंग द कास्टिंग एंड उसके बाद में ही गॉट बिजी विद बाल ठाकरे, ही डिडंट गेट द टाइम टू रीड द फिल्म, देन स्क्रिप्ट, देन ही आई वाज आल्सो डूइंग द कास्टिंग फॉर मंटो. So every day we were meeting. So मुझे लगा नवाज दोस्त भी है. He should not feel like कि it's your first film. So
Obligated.
Yeah. So I never wanted to give that kind of an impression. But it's very kind of him when he used to meet me. He was like, "Yeah, I have to still read your script, and I will soon." So I was like, "Okay." And I had generally given the script to Irfan Saab. And he loved the script. He said कि यार बहुत बढ़िया, चलो शुरू करते हैं.
Wow.
सो वो उस तरह की चीजें चल रही थी. एक दिन विशाल सर के ऑफिस से निकलते हुए नवाज भाई ने मुझे मिल गए एंड ही सर कि यार तुम्हारी स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ ली. सो आई वाज लाइक कि वो बची का है, वो तो अब आगे चली गई है. ही सर क्या बात कर रहे हो यार, बहुत अच्छी स्क्रिप्ट है, मुझे कर दी है. मैंने उनको बताया जेन्युइनली कि ये है. उसके बाद भी अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट एवरीथिंग हैपेंड विद खान साहब एंड ऑल दैट, and producers were ready to make the film. And then I wrote a mail to Khan Saab, and he told me, go ahead and make the film. And it went back to Nawaz Bhai.
But what a beautiful problem to have. Like, this is sort of the option filmmakers dream of, like a version with Irfan Khan sahab and a version with Nawazuddin Siddiqui sir.
They all are great actors, so there is no comparison because everybody, they all will bring a different kind of texture to the character.
Lovely. And speaking of Nawaz making this character his own, so in Raat Akeli Hai, the 2021, may I call it Raat Akeli Hai 1?
Up to you.
Because this is a standalone film in itself because it's in the same world, but there's only three
It's a
recurring
cop handling another case.
And so, what was the reason to not continue the story as it was brilliantly set in 2020 and as a sequel and have it with a different setup, a different case? What is the decision behind this?
That's boring for me.
Okay.
टू कंटिन्यूइंग विद दैट कैरेक्टर. अब उसकी माँ के साथ जो झगड़े चल रहे हैं वो तो इसमें भी चल रहे हैं. और अब राधा उसकी जिंदगी में आ गई है, तो ये दो लोगों को बदलना थोड़ा मुश्किल है. जिंदगी से माँ कैसे बदल दोगे? और गर्लफ्रेंड तो अभी है ही है उसकी, तो नया नया तो उसको बेचारे को इश्क हुआ है. सो अभी वो चीजें इतनी जल्दी नहीं बदल सकते थे. फिर मुझे लगा कि ये कॉप की कहानी है, सो उसकी जिंदगी में एक और केस आए जिसको लेके वो कुछ चीजें लेके आगे बढ़े, और वो केस की वजह से यहाँ उसकी पर्सनल लाइफ भी एक साथ में चल रही हो. मुझे ये नॉवेल्टी लगी है, तो इसलिए मुझे लगा कि उसकी जिंदगी में हमेशा कोई केस ही आना चाहिए जिसके साथ में हम कहानी को लेके आगे बढ़ सकते हैं.
And so now Jatil ka character we already have established hamare in 2020 film, and the writers here in the room would know, and you would also know that characters are very notorious when they're being written of disobeying the writer itself. So वो अपनी मर्जी से चलते हैं. They shape the story as much as the story also shapes them. Jatil's origin and arc we get to see in the first one. So, in what ways has this particular character impacted the narrative of the new case or the new film? Is there anything that this force of a character brings that made you want to tackle the narrative in a way or shape it in a way?
See, Jatil by nature itself is a very complex
Yeah.
person. Where even when it comes to his relationship with Radha in the first film,
Yeah.
because वो बोलता भी है कि हमको एक ऐसी लड़की चाहिए जो सुंदर हो, सुशील हो और जो घर बार का काम जो घर का काम जानती हो. मदर मोर एडवांस है. वो बोलता है बेटा इन ये सारी चीजें देखोगे तो धोखा ही खाओगे. बट फाइनली उसकी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी दूर होती है जब उसकी जिंदगी में वही लड़की आती है जो कहता है कि जैसी लड़की चाहिए जो गुण उसने बोले हुए हैं कि लड़की सुंदर हो, सुशील हो, किसी एक आदमी की होके रहे, जो भी तमाम सारी चीजें थी, राधा के कैरेक्टर में एक भी वो गुण नहीं है. उसको बेचा गया है, उसको जिसने खरीदा है वो ओल्डर आदमी है, वो उसके भतीजे के साथ उसका अफेयर है, भतीजे ने डिच कर दिया है, ओल्डर आदमी शादी करने को तैयार हो गया है, वो भी चली गई उसी में. उसके बाद में उस लड़की में तो वो कोई भी गुण नहीं है. तो वो अपना कहीं ना कहीं वो पैट्रियार्क छोड़ता है और कैसे वो राधा के साथ अलाइंड होता है.
Yes.
तो वो एक हमेशा अपनी एक कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी से लड़ रहा है, या मदर के साथ में उसके जो रिलेशन है वो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी वहां से भी आती है. बिकॉज आई हैड टू जस्टिफाई व्हाई ही इज जटिल, क्योंकि नोबडी कीप्स देयर सन्स नेम जटिल, या तो जटिल कोई नाम नहीं है. तो इसीलिए मैंने पहली वाली में ही वो एक छोटा सा सीन डाल के स्टेब्लिश किया था मदर के साथ में कि तुमको पड़ी ही क्या है हमारी. साला 10वीं के एग्जाम में हमारा नाम जटिल लिख दिया गया, जतिन से जटिल लिख दिया गया, वो तो तुम ठीक नहीं करा पाई आज तक.
And that's also very relatable to people because so many of us have altered names, altered birth dates.
वो एक मिस्टेक की वजह से उसने कहा कि वो हमको साला जिंदगी भर के लिए जटिल बना. वो कॉम्प्लेक्स बंदा है, उसके लिए किसी चीज में विश्वास कर लेना बहुत जल्दी बड़ा मुश्किल है. सो इसलिए जब उसके पास केसेस भी आते हैं, जब क्लियरली उसको दिख रहा है, हर चीज इंडिकेट कर रही है कि यही दो लोगों के बीच में ये सारा का सारा मामला चल रहा है कि आइदर शी इज द वन और द आरव इज द वन. बट स्टिल ही इज नहीं, कुछ और भी है. वो क्या है, वो कहीं ना कहीं से क्लू ढूंढ रहा है कि व्हाट कि डिसीजन इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुड बी राइट एंड आई शुड हैव द राइट पर्सन who's involved, who's the criminal. I want to get hold of that person. So कहीं ना कहीं उसकी सेल्फ कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी जो है वही उसको ड्राइव कर रही है.
And this is one of the most fascinating things for me as a viewer of the film. So Jatil, he has this arc where the more he gets embroiled in this world, the more he gets drawn into it, gets caught into it, his own conceptions are being challenged, and that is the arc that he ultimately has. He begins to understand how patriarchy sort of becomes this puppet system where it makes monsters of men, it reduces women to second class citizens a lot of the times. And this
All
is
the
something
time.
all the times, yeah. This is something that I've also observed in Smita's writing. So with Khof also, where she brought it out very wonderfully, where a system that is dominating and running our world becomes the main villain. What is it that about Raat Akeli Hai, the Bansal Murders?
See, that is again like that's Mita's nature of writing.
Mhm.
You know, the like how she likes to write these characters, and most of the characters are coming from the society. Even in our story, like lots of incident, like इसके अंदर एक डायलॉग है, मतलब इस सच अ कोइंसिडेंस, वो मीरा के साथ जो उसकी सेकंड टेस्टिमनी है उसके अंदर वो बोलता है कि हवा तो वही है ना जिसमें आपके बेटे ने भी सांस ली और इनके बच्चे ने भी सांस ली. पवई के पास में कहीं डेटा सेंटर दो आ रहे हैं. दो डेटा सेंटर जो हैं उसके लिए जो केमिकल्स और जो वो सारी चीजें लगती हैं, दोस आर वेरी कैंसेरियस थिंग्स, और उनको दूसरी जगह से हटाया गया जो अभी पवई में जो डेटा सेंटर लग रहे हैं. उसके अगेंस्ट में बहुत सारे लोग खड़े हुए हैं कि नहीं ये डेटा सेंटर इधर नहीं होने चाहिए, बिकॉज उसके लिए ट्रिलियंस लीटर ऑफ पानी लगता है और उसमें जो भी केमिकल्स लगते हैं. वहां पे एक बंदे ने कुछ उनके वीडियोस लीक हुए हैं, उनमें एक वीडियो में एक आदमी यही बोल रहा है कि ये सब होगा तो ये सारी चीजें हवा में आ जाएगी, वो हवा तो वही होगी ना जिसमें आपके बच्चे भी सांस लेंगे और हम भी सांस लेंगे. इट्स सो रेलिवेंट, you know, these things. So the characters what Smita picks and the incidents what we picked, they are the part of our society. You know, and probably ये हो सकता है कि वो different जगह के incident हैं, कहीं और से हैं, but we put them together to tell one story, to give them one shape, one arc, whether that is there in the Khauf, whether that's Raat Akeli Hai one, whether it's this one. So all the incidents had some point of time किसी न किसी जगह पे हो चुके हैं, whether it's a gas leak thing which happened, और मतलब वो सारी चीजें हमें न्यूज़पेपर में मिल जाती हैं.
This is happening everywhere and finds a home in the
Yeah,
story.
even that media family, everything you will figure out, you'll get the references.
And our protagonist here is in pursuit of truth, however obscure it may be, however deep, darkly hidden it may be. This is the last question I'm going to ask you as a filmmaker and open it to our community here for their questions. What truth are you seeking as a filmmaker?
We all are seeking the truth. We all, who doesn't want to know the truth? Whatever we are doing, as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, the basic thing is like through our own work, first we'll get to know about our own self. First, we need to figure out who we are. What is our truth? Our truth will come from our own beliefs. What are our beliefs? Once we'll start getting evolved with our own truth, then we can only understand other person's truth. And everybody who doesn't matter कौन media में है, कौन filmmaking में है, कौन IT में है, everyone is living with the conflict ki what is the truth of their being, truth of their, like the atmosphere, the place where they are working, or in any relationship in today's time, whether it's with the bosses, whether with the parents, whether with everything, there's some truth to everything. So yeah, that's a human nature, that's a very organic progression.
Lovely. I'm just going to summarize the last few minutes of our conversation in a sentence. Creatively, Honey recommends try to know yourself and also don't ask AI. Data centers are killing us all. But yes, can we have questions from the audience? Yes, please.
Yes.
Hi. Love the film, and I don't know if like you may not be aware, but between the film एक fire drill भी हुआ था,
Right.
and that was like we were so invested, and then that started happening.
जी.
We're like ये कहाँ किस level का meta होने जा रहा है film पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. Anyway, I had just two quick questions. One, and more related to writing also. Uh, when the climax was revealed and we understood who's behind this and their motivation behind it, it reminded me of Manu Joseph's "Why Don't the Poor Kill Us." I haven't read. I'll be very flex nahi kar raha hu. I haven't read it yet, but I know what the book is about and what concepts it explores. So the first question is what was the seed of this idea and that motivation of and how it grew into the story? Was it something like this or was it something else? And the second part is primarily for you as a person who's done casting for so long. When you're writing something or when you're working on a project and you said you kind of start understanding these people will work for it, how do you deal with the fact when they are not available or if they may not like doing this?
So I'll answer the second question first.
Okay.
Okay, so I have been lucked out all the times. There is not a single character in the film, like including Deepti ji, or because it was very difficult to convince Deepti ji to play that part because keeping her, she's one of the biggest star, Deepti Naval हम चश्मे बद्दूर कथा और कहाँ कहाँ चले जाते हैं उनके बारे में सोचते हुए.
Even NH10 role she played.
Yeah, but this get-up, to accept that kind of a get-up itself is very challenging for certain actors in that with that persona and in that age, ki whether it can go anywhere. So luckily, the person I have gone to, that person said yes to me. I think I've been just fortunate about this thing. Even for Chitrangda and all, like it's a funny thing. Like I had the idea ki okay, probably Chitrangda will suit this character. I generally message her ki where are you in Jan Feb March? She said probably I'll be shooting for you. I said okay. So they all. That is what I'm saying. The casting, being a casting director, and also somewhere it helps in a way. they have a certain faith, or they have certain, they have loved Raat Akeli Hai 1, so they all wanted to be a part of Raat Akeli Hai 2. When Raat Akeli Hai 1 was a theatrical, there was one song. For that, I wanted Chitrangda to do that song number, that dance number. And then COVID happened, we couldn't do it. And for her, it's a blessing in disguise. वो उसमें आइटम नंबर होती तो इसमें मीरा तो नहीं होती कम से कम. Yeah, so that was the thing. And your first thing, first question, while writing, we do keep certain things in mind because that is your personal nature. It's every filmmaker's personal nature. So for me, I have to have a reason what I'm making, why I'm making. And for me, film is, barring all the good experiences and everything, film is for me a bridge. You know, that is the bridge. My film is a bridge for me to come close to you. You know, with something. I want to cross that bridge, come to you, and I want to have a conversation with you through my film. But if my subject does not have any depth, why I need to first build that bridge, then cross the bridge, then to come to you and to waste your time. So I want to talk about certain things in the society which are taking place, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. And I want, through my films, to open a room for a conversation. That's the simple idea.
Thank you.
That's how I approach and see.
Hello, Honey. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
My question was from the draft to the shoot and then the edit. Were there parts that you have like cut out, which now you feel I want to keep in the film, or like some parts which are which would elongate the film?
There are one or two small sequences which I have cut out, but I couldn't have that thing in the film for various reasons. But I'm definitely going to request Netflix to have a section of deleted scenes where we can put that. Because there is one Sanjay Kapoor scene which talks about the larger aspects of the media. So I want to have that scene definitely. And but in the film I somehow couldn't manage that. मेरे पास में एक आइडिया ये भी था कि मैं एंड क्रेडिट रोल में वो सीन यूज कर लूं, बट इट वाज टू मच ऑफ डिस्ट्रैक्शन. आई couldn't. So, but I really want to have that scene out somewhere, like so the people could see that scene.
We do one more question.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Great film. I loved it.
Thank you.
Especially Revati's casting was smashing.
Thank you so
I mean, her chemistry with Nawaz and even in the end with Ilaji, and it was just amazing. But also, I want to mention that it's a deeply political film. So, were you, I mean, while writing, self-censoring also? Let's not go there. Or were you?
I don't do that. Like I leave that. There are enough people to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't, and I'm very happy. And the way Netflix came forward and supported me with the vision and allowed me to say whatever I wanted to say. So they never stopped me for anything. I'm very happy to have such partners also with me.
Thank you.
The lady in the front had one more question. We'll quickly take that and wrap this.
Good, man. Those are.
Yeah, hi, Honey. I think it was amazing.
Thank you.
Loved watching it. So, just one question. What is like your thought process on sort of giving justice to victims in murder mysteries? Like, do you explicitly think of doing that, or do you just go with the flow?
I go with the flow, and see, that is the room. That is what I say. Ki where I want to open the conversation with the audience, because I want to put that seed in their mind, how they want to react to that. Because it's the end of the day, it's a matter of perception. The way I see the world would be completely different than the way you see and you want to deal with it. You know, I don't say what Om Prakash did is the right thing. You know, but on the other side, what that poor father also need to do, who's seeking for the revenge. I'm against revenge. I'm not in that ki okay, like आपने मार दिया हमने मार दिया. No, वो वाली चीजें अलग हैं. I don't come from that, but somewhere they are also they are the larger part of the society, because there is nobody who's listening to them or doing anything for them. I don't see that happening. So how long one need to wait for the justice?
Thank you.
But I also say that's a wrong way to take the justice also. But yeah, these are also the stories of our society, so we must tell them.
So, like, do you always get inspired by true stories on building your story for the film, or is
Most of the time मुझे लगता है कि मतलब fictitious character मुझे कहीं ना कहीं एक पॉइंट तक आप उनको कोई एक जामा पहनाने की कोशिश करते हो, which is again a part of the society. It's better. There's so many things happening around us, and I think when you are in that position where through your work you can talk about certain things, which are important into the society. So one should do that, and the real stories, real characters or incident, it gives you that kind of opportunity.
just one last small question, like not about the film, but like what's always been your inspiration on building stories? Like we've all had one favorite author in our childhood whom we grew up reading.
Many. There is one person who used to write with two names, and his pen name was Colonel Woolrich. So the thing is, his real name was Boston or something, and he was in a job, and he was not allowed to do the freelance things. So that is what he got to know. But because of the good paycheck, he couldn't leave that job. So he started writing with a different name. So nobody, far end of his life, nobody knew. And when he retired and all that, people started getting to know, okay, this guy is Colonel Woolrich. He has written Rear Window for Hitchcock. He has written Notorious for Hitchcock. So Agatha Christie.
Yes.
So all these are my favorite authors. Ved Prakash Sharma, Colonel Ranjit. इन सबको तो बहुत पढ़ा है. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm just going to wrap our conversation with one concluding question. So the weekend is approaching. Raat Akeli Hai, the Bansal Murders comes out tomorrow. People can view it. If one were to do a Whodunnit marathon over the weekend, so Bansal Murders we have, Raat Akeli 2020 we have. What's a third and a fourth film you can recommend to just wrap it up?
Chinatown. Please go and watch Chinatown, because if you notice closely, I have given a kind of a homage to Chinatown. Both the time when the restaurant comes, it's a Chinatown restaurant. The font is what the way Chinatown is written for Chinatown films. Yeah.
Lovely. So Chinatown for the Whodunnit marathon. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Honey,
Thank you.
for the lovely conversation, community for coming and the questions. Yes?
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.